Hello Pisces, welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we have the radiant sun. It's been a long time since we've started a reading off with the sun card. This is a card of health and wealth, of pride, of success. It really is about you shining your light, about not hiding your light away, making yourself exceptional, realizing that you are a unique and conquering individual, and you don't have to dim your light just to fit into the world, right? That you are a lamp, you're a shining beacon out in the universe, right? So I feel like you have all of this talent, all of this skill, your unique character, your peculiarities, your eccentricities, your personality is beaming forth. You're not hiding it. You're not covering it up. You're not dimming your shine for anything, okay? You're realizing that you are the only you that exists, right? And you're no longer afraid, you're no longer covering up, you're letting your light shine. And this feels really, really good. Let's see what the energy is surrounding this and perhaps what you're doing with that. Well, you're making changes, that's for sure. It kind of looks like this is a Five of Pentacles. It kind of looks like this is that that sort of cloak or the crust that's kind of hiding that sunshine underneath, right? Look at that again. It looks like the light is starting to break forth from underneath, right? So I feel like this really is about you expressing yourself, not being afraid to be who you are. Your uniqueness sets you apart from everybody else, And sometimes we don't like that. Sometimes we want to just kind of be doing what everybody else is doing. We want to sort of fit in with everybody. We want to get along, And so we tend to sort of diminish those peculiar qualities in ourselves, in order to just kind of to fit in. We sort of turn the volume down. We turn the light down. We dim our shine a little bit so that we can just blend in fine. I don't think you can do that anymore. I think that your true self, your true unique soul is shining through, and there's a lot of changes happening in your life. I think you're starting to, to kind of pursue the things in life that you want to pursue. You're starting to express yourself the way that feels right and natural to you. Okay, let's keep going. This is good. We got a Princess of Swords, a little bit of insecurity. We got a Knight of Swords, or a Prince of Swords, actually. That's some Aquarius energy. We've got the Magician. My favorite card, the Magician card, Mercury. Hermes, the trickster, the juggler. This is the card really that says that, we're very adaptable. And I think that you have adapted to what is kind of the standard or the status quo. That could be what our fixed air, this Aquarius energy, might be with our Prince of Swords, a status quo, or the kind of the blending in kind of thing, right? That there's a particular standard, and we're trying to just adapt to that, and then we're going to be, we're going to cover up our light with some of that earth energy. We're going to just do what we can to blend in, right? The Magician is very good at adapting. The Magician can adapt to any circumstances, like a Rosicrucian in this way, right? You can be drop shipped to any old place, and you can just blend in. You would disappear, right? I don't think you want to disappear anymore. Just because you can adapt doesn't mean you should, okay? The real magic that you're looking for is in the work that we've been avoiding. Okay? The real magic is in doing the difficult thing. And usually the difficult thing is just being yourself and not giving a you-know-what about what anybody thinks. That's the hard work, right? The hard work is to be your creative self and to let your light shine and to realize that we don't have to change who we are to fit in to a particular set of circumstances, that we can pursue greater things. If we put in that hard work of this Ten of Wands, we can create a world that is more, that vibes with us more. You know, we can create the right circumstances. You are the architect of your own life. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to change your behaviors, change your attitudes, your perspectives, change yourself and change your world, right? And that change really is by letting more of your true self out. And change is never easy. That's why we've got a Ten of Wands in the future position. It's going to be hard work, but it is absolutely worth it. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. We'll put the rest of our cards out on the table. We've got the Lover's card, the Empress card, the Seven of Wands, and a Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is looking into the future. You have to have a vision of the life you want. All right? That is really that's the very important thing here. We got fire and earth, and that's absolutely it. Fire and earth, putting the effort in and causing change and conformity with your will. Fire to earth is that magical, spiritual, electrical circuit of creation, from inspiration to implementation, from impulse to behavior, from fire to earth, right? From will to action, from effort to the results. Okay? We put in our effort and we create something, right? We have to know what the life is that we want to have. The Knight of Pentacles is always looking into the future and can see the vision, really can see the vision of this Empress life. This is what we really want. We want that Empress life, right? Which is the paradise, which is the garden, which is the best life, the good life, you know? This is the satisfaction of those kinds of goals that maybe at one time we never thought we would achieve or could achieve. We thought they weren't possible for us when we just were trying to blend in, right? I think that we have some anxiety about stepping out into our own power and becoming the magician. It's always kind of scary when we are talking about changing our lives, okay? But to have this Sun card right here as our very first card, this is a real jackpot, right? This is the real miracle here, is that it's through your effort and you being yourself, being true to yourself, and overcoming the anxiety, getting past the need to sort of to meet some kind of arbitrary standard of the rest of the world, or whatever this is, the sort of conformity, dimming our light in order to fit in over here. By doing that, you're going to arrive at your Empress energy, your Empress life. Okay? This is a real miracle. And I think that you are responsible in some way for that miracle, right? That it is Spirit performing the miracle, but it's your responsibility to take advantage and to utilize it, and not just to let it sort of float by you unclaimed. You've got to claim the miracles, right? You have to have a vision of your future. You have to be able to see yourself and who you're going to be, where you're going to be, and what you're going to be doing in the future if you're going to know how to put in the work to get it. Otherwise, our Ten of Wands really just becomes wasted effort because it's not being applied to anything specific. It's just we're working hard, but not for anything. There's no intention behind it, right? There's no direction to it. I don't mean that we're working for the results or working for the outcomes, but we have to go into all of this work with an intention. Okay? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor Infinite and Unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Big Red Ant right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the end, but if you want to help me predict that card, you can put any old thing down in the comments, right? Let's do it together. Let's use our intuition. Looking around the room now, we do have 4 major arcana energies. We've got fire. We don't have any water yet. We've got our air, and we've got our earth and earth. So really a lot of major arcana energies. We've got 2 fire, we've got 2 airs, we've got 2 earth cards. We do need a little bit of the water energy. But I think right now it's about kind of, getting motivated, mustering the courage to put in this hard work to change our life, to take advantage of the miracles that are being offered to you by Spirit, right? That you are, you're reaching up and claiming your adepthood. You're claiming your right as a magician. You're claiming your magic wand. And we're making the changes in life that we need to make in order to let our true self shine forth. And then our efforts will create our paradise, our best life, the good life, the empress life. Okay? And so we have to be willing to change certain things. There is material that is moving around in the earth, right? In the physical environment for you. So the 5 of Pentacles becomes really just that the effort in any given day that we're doing something. We're in the we're working. Basically, is what this card says, that we're in the middle of working. We're doing something, right? And when I say work, I don't mean like what you're doing for money. I don't mean a job. It's whatever you're burning calories doing every day, whatever you're putting in work for, right? And I think that this is now putting in work to make positive changes, putting in work to create the reality that we want, to create the life that we want. We're not obsessed with the future outcome, though we have to know kind of what we're working toward, so we know where to go and where to work, what to do. But when we're doing it, we're doing it. And we're trying to do it better and better and better. We're trying to grow. We're trying to expand. We're trying to always push ourselves. The results will be there, right? If we're putting in the right kind of effort and to the right degree, the rewards will be there. The future will work itself out. And that's a secret of the Knight of Pentacles. Looking at the future, understanding who we're going to be, where we're going to be, and what we're going to be doing. It all depends upon the decisions that we make right now. The work we're doing today is creating our future self. We don't have to worry about the future self. We have to do the work today and moment to moment. And the future self will be there. The future state of our lives, that empress energy, that's what we're creating. Okay? So it's just a matter of putting in the right kind of effort. And I think the right kind of effort is a very authentic effort. I think it is you being creative, you being true to yourself. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Then you're just going to be like everybody else, and you're going to get the same results as everybody else. Every star is a unique star. Every individual is a unique individual. You have your own skills and talents. You have your own virtues, your own qualities, your own character, your own creativity, your own personality, your own light, right? Every star is different. Yeah, there are millions of them, billions of trillions of stars, but every one is unique. So you are just like everybody else, but you're also one of a kind, So you don't have to do what everybody else is doing, because then you will just be like everybody else and get the same things that everybody else gets. You are setting yourself apart. And I think part of the 5 of Pentacles is you tearing down all of these false images of yourself, or these things that you're doing that aren't really you, the things that you kind of have been working on or working towards or getting involved with or entangled with or pursuing and creating and acquiring that you don't really want. The way we cover ourselves up, right, with all of these things, that they're not really us. So a big part of this 5 of Pentacles is you shedding the skin, shedding this old stuff. And I think really putting this Prince of Swords behind you. I feel like the Prince of Swords as a fixed air energy sort of represents the conformity, the kind of doing what everybody else does. This is kind of like a standard, and it might just be locally in your life, in your community, with your family and friends, or this could be generally kind of a global scale where it's just like, I'm not, I don't have to like what everybody else likes. I don't have to do what everybody else is doing. I don't have to be like everybody else, right? So I think we're breaking away from this fixed thought, this belief that, there's a standard, or there's a certain status quo, or a certain bubble within which everybody needs to exist, a certain box, Well, you're getting outside of the box there. Okay? But the Princess of Swords underneath is a little bit of that anxiety. It's that part of us that still just kind of feels that it's easier and more comfortable to conform. Anytime we get a 5, right, we start looking around for the 4. Because this is kind of chaos. This is, a lot of things are moving around. A lot of things are changing, right? Walls are coming down. New walls are being built up. The kitchen, the garage, everything's kind of being renovated. Stuff's being cleaned out, cleared out. There's movement all around. It's like we're a cat. When the humans are moving and the cats are freaking out, like, what's going on, And I kind of feel that's part of what's going on here. The Princess of Swords is thinking, well, it's just easier to stay put. It's easier to just conform, be part of the group, be like everybody else, dim my shine as much as I have to, dim the light, right? And it makes for an easier day, okay? However, I feel that doing that is it's not really going to make things easier for you, after all. Because this feeling, this sunshine inside of you is sort of bursting through the seams, and I think it's going to continue to do so no matter how much you try to contain it. It's going to end up kind of bursting forth and creating kind of like a tower event, right? Where your life is going to be disrupted unexpectedly. Okay? If we intentionally say, okay, I'm gonna embrace change, I'm gonna work on myself, I'm gonna pursue the things in life that mean something to me, I'm gonna be my unique self and express myself and create life the way I want it, to a relative degree. Then we're sort of controlling that energy and that force, and we're directing all of that energy. Rather than just trying to stuff it down beneath the surface, it's going to just start bursting forth, and things are going to start happening that are sort of causing trouble in our lives. This is a controlled chaos rather than just a kind of random tower event that's going to kind of mess things up, The Ten of Wands in the future position is putting in maximum effort. Okay, putting in as much effort as it takes to change yourself and to change your life and to grow and evolve in the way that you sort of decide, right? Magic is not an easy thing. It's not just literally snapping your fingers and then something appears in your hand. There's a lot of work that goes into creating your reality, right? Creating the person that you wish to be, creating the life that you wish to live is an act of magic. It's an act of creation. It takes a whole heck of a lot of effort. All people see is perhaps the magician on stage pulling the rabbit out of the hat. 45-minute show, and everybody says, oh my gosh, wow. What they don't see, what the audience doesn't see, are the thousands of hours that have gone into that, the thousands of times that we didn't pull the rabbit out of the hat, and we had to figure out all those things. Nobody sees the hard work. They just see the results, and they think, wow, that looked easy, right? And maybe you can make it look easy. But the reality is that there is so much hard work that goes into it. And nobody sees that. Nobody cares, right? People just care about the end result and about what the final finished sort of product is. And then they think, oh, I want that. I'm envious of that. But they don't see all of the hours that went into building that, okay? And that's what the Ten of Wands is. Now, on the path of the Serpent, we start off with the Lover's card. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's free, and we're getting real close to 300K, so let's make that push. Yeah, I appreciate you so much. The Lover's card, and first and foremost, you got to love yourself. You've got to be your biggest fan. You've got to love yourself more than anybody else loves you. You've got to be your own best friend. You've got to be your own motivator, your own trainer, your own, your own everything, right? And because this is the only way, you're the only one that has to live with you, So we better be best friends with ourselves. We better have this sort of an internal unity between all of our selves, right? Our physical self, our mental, emotional selves, our spiritual selves. The sun is really that unity. The sun is higher self and so-called lower self merged together and operating as one unique, radiant star out in the universe, right? And we need that first and foremost. We need that internal unity before we're going to find the right kind of unity in the external world, right? So self-love and self-acceptance and being our own sort of best friend, that comes first, okay? And I think with that Lover's card, it's also saying that we have to choose. We have to choose this radiant self, right? It is a choice we have to make. It is a marriage. It is a commitment. That's what the Lover's card is all about. It's not saying, well, you're going to get into a romantic relationship. Well, yeah, maybe you will, right? If that's what you intend, if that's what you are going to put in the work to do. Okay? This is about the choice to unite with our true self and to live this life, live this path of authenticity and work hard for it, or the choice to just sort of conform to what else is going on and see if that can kind of be an easier life for us. Okay. And sometimes the Empress card here in the position of the environment is kind of saying that, life is very seductive. There are a lot of things in life that just want you to kind of go back to sleep. Just sit back down on the couch, relax. Here, put your feet up. You want a cold drink? Let me rub your feet for you. Let me get you a blankie and a pillow, There's a lot of things out in life that don't want you to be unique. The Matrix doesn't want to lose another one. Doesn't want another one to wake up, right? So there's a lot of things in your environment that are trying to bed you back down again. And I think some of our fire energy needs to be directed toward not falling for that. I think this card also is doing kind of a double duty here because in this position of your environment and your relationships, this is the perfect world we're trying to create. Okay? We have to realize that life as it is exactly at this moment is not your ideal. There's something else you want in life. There's a way for you to live more authentically, for you to be more creative, live more creatively and more magically, to have more control over who you are and what you do and where you go and all this kind of stuff, and what kind of life you live. So we realize that there's work to be done, okay? But we're going to strive toward creating our own personal paradise. Yeah. And the first step, I think, there is to realize that there's a lot of things that are trying to make us go back to sleep. The first step is kind of waking up to that, and that's part of our 5 of Pentacles too. Okay. Now the Seven of Wands is an interesting card because it's a card that says the odds are against you. Okay. It's a card that says we got to turn up the heat if we're really going to beat this thing, and this is kind of that's the obstacle. The obstacle is for you to overcome the odds. And it's kind of like, in a way, it's saying that we want the odds to be against us because that means that when I overcome that, it's gonna mean so much more. It's gonna be so much more significant. If the odds are in your favor and you win and it was pretty easy and it wasn't a big deal, then it's kind of like not a lot of change has happened. We didn't really make a lot of progress. We didn't really grow very much, right? But if it is this overwhelming obstacle, the odds are so stacked against us, right, that everybody's betting on us to lose, Well, we gotta work that much harder to make sure we win, and then that's going to be a huge leap of progress, right? So in some ways, we kind of we sort of look around for the biggest challenge, and not always. I think it's important that we set ourselves up for success, but we also push ourselves hard enough. We have to push ourselves to the brink of failure and even work toward failure. Let's keep going until we fail at it. And then we realize, okay, that's my limit, that's my threshold. And now I'm going to work to push that out a little bit further, right? We're always at the cutting edge of our potential, the cutting edge of consciousness, right? We're living comfortably right in the middle. We're sleeping, we're relaxing, we're seduced by the environment, and we're not really pushing the limits of anything. This card is saying we're pushing the limit, that I know how far I go before I fail. So now I know where to sort of focus my efforts, and now I know what to do to keep moving forward and get past that obstacle. Okay? This is the hard work that is that's required to take advantage of the miracles of being here now with this gift of life that we have, And the Knight of Pentacles, of course, in the final outcome position, you've got to be able to see yourself in the future, to see the life that you want, to see yourself, see who you are, where you are, and what you're doing, whether it's a month, a year, or 10 years down the line. You have to be able to see it. And if you see it, if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And that's it. And I think this is it for you. And I think that you are that radiant sun. And I think really this is a time in your life where you're saying, I'm done. I'm done sleeping on all this stuff. I'm waking up to our true potential, our consciousness, our divine light, waking up as this pure spirit and saying, I can have the life that I want. I can be the person I want to be. Let's look at that mystery card though, yeah? I want the water energy. I want the satisfaction. I feel like there's no water here because we're just in this adaptation, in this conformity, in trying to just sort of get along and not rock the boat. I feel like we're not really enjoying what we could be enjoying in life. We're not really feeling it. And I think we're waking up to that fact that, yeah, the Empress might be seducing us into going back to sleep, but it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel satisfying. I want there to be some real water energy here. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. The Hermit. Okay. We could work with the Hermit because the Hermit is what? Walking away from the status quo. The Hermit is saying, I'm going my own way. I'm finding my own path through the jungle. Right? And you are that lamp, you are that star, you are that sun, and you're saying, I'm going to go into the great unknown wilderness, the dark, scary forest, and I'm going to push myself. I'm going to go to the limits of myself. I'm going to find out what I'm made of. What composes your star? What elements and gases and all this stuff are in there, right? We're going to find out what we're made of. I'm going to find out who I am and where I'm going, what I'm made of and why I'm here. And I'm going my own way. I'm not going to just do what everybody else does and stay asleep and stay content. No, I'm going to find out what's really in here. And this is a very strong confirmation. And now we're going to do an extended reading. I hope you'll stick around for that. We're going to do a hexagram from the Jing. We'll do some other oracle cards. Click on the link in the corner. There's also one down below. Okay. New readings for Pisces Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. It is free and it's very supportive. I appreciate it. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.